So we got a request in Discord to sort of explain how this really cute vending machine was made. This is in the Robot Art Jam showcase. And Summer Sky put this together out of some scripts that Bradley Control Z made. It's really not too bad to do, so let's hop right into it. There's a couple parts to what we need to do. There's the drink itself that has to be held in your hand. And then there's the machine that needs to toggle through it. If we just take a look in this game here, I already have built a working example, and I can walk into any of the drinks and it'll attach it to my hand like this. That's definitely a realistically scaled drink. If we stop the game, we're going to pretend we're just doing this from scratch. We're going to need the machine that toggles through the drinks, and then we're also going to need some art to use as the different drink choices. I've just picked all this stuff by Voxelius. Yeah, you can see here, this is Social Drink Lemonade, Halloween Social Lemonade Drink, and Social Drink Stein, and then the machine is just called Vending Machine. So you can find all those Vox objects if you want to use the same ones. The next thing we need is to make these drinks able to attach to your hand. And there's a few different ways to do this, but the easiest way to do it is probably to just steal a script off one of these template toys that attaches to you when you run into it, so that you don't have to do as much adjusting of the script. So let's just grab this crown, and we're gonna go here to the script on it, which is dbb underscore generic underscore cosmetic, and we're gonna copy it. Part of the reason we're copying this is because this is actually an admin-only script, so that means you can't search for it right now. You can only copy and paste it from existing things. So let's grab these three cups and hit paste as new, because we know we're going to want that script on all of the cups. It's got a few settings on the script that we're going to need to change. So what the label does on this is it lets you control, say, how many hats a player is wearing at the same time. So if the player wears a different cosmetic called hat, it'll take off the first hat and let you wear the second hat. So in this case, though, you probably want to be able to wear a drink and a hat at the same time, so we don't want to just use hat. So let's just use the player's left hand. Let's go, let's just label it hand left. And it doesn't matter. I could have called this drink hand or offhand. It doesn't matter what this label is, as long as you consistently put it on all the drinks, okay? This first template here, cosmetic worn, leave that alone. That is an admin-only template that's needed to actually attach the thing to the player, so just leave that selection. The FX you can change if you want, but it doesn't matter. But we do want to change the link slot. So I have a different game on my profile. I could link to it if needed, that tells you what all the different link slots are, but I know that the one we want is just called hand underscore left, capital H and capital L in this case. So let's just take a look right now and test what we've done so far. So if I just run into this drink, it attaches to my hand correctly. See, it's moving with my hand. It's not attached to my head like the crown would have been if I had to put it on. And I can go into each one and it works like that. So that's great, except for, of course, that's not the position we want it to be. If we go back into edit mode and we click on that, we can actually move it around with these numbers till we get it in the position that we want it. Okay, we're gonna say it's something like that. I don't know if that's actually what we want. This is fiddly because of the axes it's moving on, but if you just keep messing with them, you'll eventually get it right. But we need these numbers to be on these cups over here. So it's 641, -5. So let's put that here in this first one. 641, -5. Then we click on this cup again and it says 146, 180, 0. If I stop the game and hit play again, I should now be able to have a slightly better positioned cup. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit weird when you run or whatever, so just pick what you think looks the best for your game. It's totally an up to you kind of decision. And the cup is kind of big. I think, let me just try to scale it. Yeah, okay, so that's not quite the scale we want. So 1 was too big, but 0.5 is too small. So let's just try like 0.75 and see what that is. It's just down here under link scale is where I'm changing it. And notice I'm selecting and changing all 3 objects at once just to save myself some time. Okay, good enough. We've got 3 drinks. Now, the next step that we need to do is to turn these into templates because we want the machine to spawn them. So I'm going to say vending machine drink 1. You can name these however you want. Just make sure you name them in a way that you'll be able to pick them out of a list. So don't, don't have them with a nonsense name on them. But we're going to call them drink 1, 2, and 3. Then once you have it named, just hit new template. 1, then hit new template on the next one, and then hit new template on the third one. Okay. Now, if I go down to the templates bar at the bottom and I go to mine, we'll just pull away from this for a second, you'll find that I can actually now pull out my first 3 templates, the ones I just made. So there's the 3 template drinks I just made. Next step, we have to add some scripts to this vending machine. So if I go here to the script button at the top of my entity, notice I've selected the vending machine first. Then I go to open, and the one I'm looking for is called template browser. You can see it up here in my recent items, but if you just type template browser, you should be able to find this one as well. You're going to need both of these scripts. So I'll put the one that says template browser on first. And then I'm actually going to need 3 copies of the one that says template browser entry, because that's the one we need, 1 per drink. So if our machine had 5 drinks, then we would need 5 of these entries. But in our case, we only need 3. So let's paste those in. And then on each one of these, we're going to set a drink that we just made. So we have drink 1, drink 2, and drink 3. Now let's just play and see if that's working. It looks like it is, but can you see over here, we've got the drinks are like showing up way over there and spinning in. So let's go take a look at what's going on here in our settings. We've got on the template browser order thing, there's actually a thing where we can say what order we want them in. So I'm going to put that as 1, 2, and 3. And then let's go check out the actual settings on the template browser script, the main one. It says number of visible entries should be 3 at the top. It says the entry spacing was 75, which is pretty big. We're probably going to want to make that smaller. I'll just lower it to 30 for now. Move seconds is how quickly it's going to move. We might want to change that. And it says spawn in circle, but in the example game that we were looking at, it was spawning the line. So let's uncheck that. And then let's just hit play again and see what's going on. Okay, so now we have 3 drinks in a line, but they're pretty far in front of the vending machine. That's probably not quite what we want. So let's hit stop again and go back here. There's a spawn offset button. That's probably the one we want. So I'm just going to set it to -80. I want to move the spawn from over here back closer to the vending machine. And the move settings was a little bit slow. Maybe we want that to go a bit faster. So I don't know. I'll change it to 0.6 and we'll see. And then we hit play again. There we go. So now it'll just slightly more quickly go through the drinks and I can walk up to the drink I want and take it. Or I can use the machine to toggle through. So that's it. It's really not like horrible to do, but it is a few steps because you need to make the templates of the cups first. I'll make this game remixable, so if you want to be able to look at an example while you make your own, you can do that by just templating this vending machine. If you template this vending machine and then drag it out into your own game, then you can use it as a reference when you're building things. You're also welcome to template and use these drinks, or you could make your own drink templates if you prefer. Have fun making games.